Hi everyone, so I've just gone live across on my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson, and I've also shared it to my business page, NU Journeys Counselling. But what I want to talk about is to continue the discussions that I've been having this week on my series, Let's Talk About It. I'm going to try and keep it a lot shorter than I was on my Facebook page. What happens sometimes is you plan the video, you have like your bullet points, but then you just go off on a tangent. I do sometimes, but I'm going to try and keep this a bit more succinct. So what I want to talk about today is victim mindset and mentality. So when you think about a victim, what comes to your mind? I think about someone who's been a victim of a crime, maybe someone who's been scammed, maybe someone who's been abused. But how about the idea that a person can become a victim due to their mindset or their mentality? So I would define it as a feeling that you are powerless, that someone has control over you, that everyone is out to get you, and that you can't get far in life because of external factors. So a really good book that I was listening to on audiobook yesterday is by Viktor Frankl, and it's called A Man's Search for Meaning. And he was talking about how he was a victim of a concentration camp. There were so many things that were out of his control. And so how he managed that situation was all to do with his mindset, to do with not focusing on all the things that he couldn't control. He couldn't control whether he gets sent to the gas chambers or whether he was sent to the fields to work. He couldn't control what he was given to eat, when he was given food to eat, where he had to sleep. And he talked about a scene which really touched me, actually, because it just made me think really deeply. And he talked about how every day all the men were lined up to go to the showers, and they would be sent into the shower, and then they would receive a beating. And as the people were waiting in the queue, they could hear the man in front of them being beaten by all the guards. And this was a regular thing that happened, and they had no control over it. So when you're waiting in that queue, you know it's next, what's coming for you next. You know that there's nothing you can do. It's not like you can escape. It's not like you can get away with it. So they had to think of a way of mentally doing something about this, because otherwise they're going to be standing there, they're going to be anxious, they're going to be feeling more stressed. So they just started making jokes and laughing about it. They were laughing about, oh, you're next, or how much are you going to be able to take, or oh, teasing each other. So it turned into, instead of a stressful, anxious situation, instead of them feeling like they were victims and they were, these guards were in control, they took some control back. And he said that over the days, they started to feel less anxious. It was more of a game, it was fun, and they actually got used to it. So what he says is, any situation you're in, instead of thinking about the external factors, think about internally what power you have. You don't always have to feel as though you're powerless. So when you have a victim mindset, it's disempowering, because it's not going to feel powerful to feel you're a victim. If you walk around and you listen to all the messages that are out there, or you absorb all these things, that you're a victim because society hates black people, it's just some things that people say. You're a victim because, you're never going to get anywhere because you're a single mother and you have to rely on benefits. You're a victim because of this, you're on that. If you take on and absorb all those messages, you are going to walk around and you are going to believe that. And what that's going to lead to is that you're either going to give up, you're either going to have that victim mentality where you feel like, what's the point in doing anything because I'm never going to get anywhere. It's pointless me going to the interview, they're going to give it to someone else. It's pointless me going on dating sites because I'm not going to be chosen. And it's just not, it's not only disempowering, it's also, it's also not a very good way to live your life either, because you're saying that you don't believe in yourself and that you don't feel powerful in any way. It also keeps you stuck. Having a victim mindset keeps you stuck because it's a cop-out. It's easy for you to say, well, I'm not going to achieve this because I'm a woman, so therefore they're not going to give me this position. Or I'm gay, so I can't do certain things. Or I'm not going to apply to become, I don't know, the president or a foster carer or this or that because they're racist, so they're not going to let me. Now, when you say like bold statements like that, you've got to think you're literally giving power to a person or a situation, because you're basically saying that you don't believe in yourself enough. You don't have enough confidence in yourself to even try, because it's not going to work anywhere. And you have to recognise where have those messages come from. So it prevents you from taking actions, it prevents you from making decisions, it gives power to external factors and people and situations. So whenever we feel that something or someone outside of ourselves controls our actions, our thoughts and our behaviour, we will continue to hold a victim mentality and mindset. And it doesn't serve us as people. And I know for a fact that because I'm such a confident person, and sometimes maybe I'm overconfident. I know people that have said I'm intimidating. I don't think I am, but if that's their perception, or that I've been called aggressive when I was in my college course, and that was literally because I was speaking about racism, and I was told I'm aggressive, and I'm not going to change who I am as a person. This is me, this is who I am, but I don't regard myself as a victim, and I never will. Even in any situation that if it happens, I'm not going to ever view myself as a victim. I don't have a victim mentality. And what people don't always understand is if whole communities are saying one thing, then they want everyone within that community to believe the same thing. I've seen the videos, there's loads of videos on YouTube with millions of views where, and these are sometimes from black women or black men. So because I'm a black person, I don't believe that black women are at the bottom of the barrel. I don't believe that, we're less desired, like some people make videos about. I haven't felt that, and I've not experienced that. And I'm not saying some people haven't, but if you put in a long message across and I think it's also not productive, because what you're effectively doing is you're trying to get everyone on board to feel that same way. And I don't think that's really good, because if you have felt like you've been a victim of something and you feel negative, or you don't feel empowered, what's the point in trying to disempower other people? Shouldn't we be doing the opposite, trying to empower people? So the first thing really is to find anything within any situation that can empower you. You might be in a situation where you're getting evicted. You might be in a situation where everything's falling apart. You've lost your job. You've got no money, whatever. What is the one thing you can find that will empower you? Maybe you can feel, well, now that I'm getting evicted, I don't have to worry about my mortgage. So wherever I go to next is going to be better for me because the pressure's off. Maybe you can, there's always at least one thing that is empowering in any situation, or most situations. Number 2, ask yourself, what would happen if you no longer held this mindset? If you decided you're not going to use the word victim anymore, you're not going to have a victim mentality, you're not going to have negative thoughts about all the things you can't control, you're not going to walk on the street and think everyone's out to get you, or the government is against me, or this person's against me. You are going to change your mindset. It will change your life, because it's not about what anyone else thinks, or it's not about what all these like scholars or all of these people on Facebook think, or they're all trying to. There's people on my Facebook that literally I've unfollowed because they're so like, if they say this is what's happening in the world, all police officers are corrupt. This is a classic one. All black people are. There's a systematic system that's against all of us, and we can't get far, and no matter what we do, and we shouldn't educate ourselves, and we shouldn't try anything because the system is out to get us. Now, if I turn around, right, and I agree with part of it, and I might put in, well, I've still gone on to university, or I still think we can empower ourselves in one way, then everyone's jumping on, you're in denial, you're ridiculous, you're like Kanye West, you are crazy, you blah, and you just think, do you know what? This is what I'm trying to say. Victim mentality is a serious thing, because if lots of people all hold those same beliefs, there's a reason behind it. The reason is they haven't got where they want to get to in life, and they want everyone to be convinced that this is the reason. It's got nothing to do with them. It's to do with the system. And as long as we all hold that belief, we can't change the system and lots of things in the system. So therefore, we're going to stay where we are then, aren't we? So as I've said, it's a cop-out, because it means that you're basically saying something that's bigger than yourselves is controlling you, keeping you where you are, so there's no way out of it, and I just think that's ridiculous. Consider erasing the word altogether, victim, from your vocabulary. What else? Start to question your thoughts, your decisions, and the underlying reasons why you hold them. And finally, remember that you can't always choose what happens, but you can choose how you respond. Going back to the book, Man's Search for Meaning, that must have been horrific conditions. A lot of people, he said, chose suicide in the concentration camps because they couldn't handle it. Loads of people in prison choose the same. They can't handle being in prison. I don't know what I would do in certain situations. I would hope that my mind would keep me going, that, you know, I would know that there's a way for me to empower myself, you know, or whatever. But who knows when you're in that situation? But if he can come out of the concentration camp and live a really good life, have a best-selling book, I think it sold something like 10 million, probably more than that now, copies, then there's hope for everyone, you know. And it's just about saying that you might not be completely powerful every moment of your life, but you can be empowered in every situation. You can find that little bit of strength to become empowered. Being a victim or having a victim mentality does not serve any purpose at all. What purpose does it serve? So you have to think of it that way. I'd rather just not have that type of mentality. Even if I try 100 times to do something and I fail at them, or if someone keeps saying you can't, you can't, you can't, or tries to stop me, I'm still going to keep trying. But if I say no, I'm not going to try at all, then you've already given up, you've already lost. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you've been finding the series. I think this is number 5. I think, did I start Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? This is number 5. I think I'm going to do 2 more videos, one tomorrow, one on Saturday, and then that will be it for the series. And then I'll go back to do my drop-in videos once every Thursday. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to everyone watching. Please feel free to like, to comment, and to share. Have a great day. Bye.